Hey there, thanks for joining us at the Rabbit Hole of Research, where you'll learn a few facts that you can impress your friends with at a party.
Well, hey there. This is the Rabbit Hole of Research. We're in the basement studio. It's Joe and...
Hello, it's Nick.
It's Nick here. We're just hanging out. No one out in the listening world would know this, but Nick and I, we had a little vacay from recording and
A little hiatus.
Yeah, for about a month. So this is our first show coming back fresh. I think we're refreshed and ready to go down the holes, the rabbit holes.
All of them. Just every one of them that we can find, we're digging them up.
We're digging them up. That's what we do.
Watched a bunch of movies and TV shows. Some of them don't even pertain to this.
I did watch a lot of shows and movies. We were... Just not to keep everyone in suspense, on the edge of their seat, we're going to be talking about alien invasions.
Boom, boom.
You know you love them. Good alien invasion movie. There's a lot of them.
So
books.
many.
I think, Independence Day. So that's probably in a lot of folks' heads who were teenagers at that point, or maybe even younger than a teenager in 96. But then, yeah, we go through War of the Worlds. I used to watch that with my dad. The Thing, Cloverfield, Mars Attacks, Parasite, the anime, really good. I think now there's a live action Netflix
I think
show.
so.
So excited to see that. So yeah, no, it's there in books. Day of the Triffids, we talked about a few times on the episodes. Three Body Problem.
Before we go any further, Joe.
Yeah.
What are you drinking over there, buddy?
Oh, I'm drinking Apathy is a Cold Body by Farn Local right here in Brewed in Hammond, Indiana. So right up the road from the basement studio. So shout out to the fine people there. And Nick?
Oh, yeah. I think we are drinking the exact same
we're twinsies
thing.
Again?
Yeah. And then I'm also drinking some cold brew and some water. Just have my lineup of drinks.
You always have like three. I do have a water. And I do have a cold brew from Bean Me Up Roastery here.
You have the same amount of liquids that I do.
I do, except they're not lined up on the table.
Listen, I go one after another, all right? You go beer, you cleanse your palate with water, and then you go coffee.
I just mix them all up like an alien invasion. Yeah,
yes, alien invasion films. Like, I even would push going with Starship Troopers, where we are invading their space.
That's right.
We are the invaders that are aliens.
Yeah. And that's a good one there, because you have like the most famous, I don't know famous, but the most grossing movie of all time. I think they took it back from Endgame and the MCU was Avatar.
Yep.
And Avatar is exactly that, where humans with all their hubris and greed go to mine resources from under, I think it was the Mother Tree. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, but
I'm going to be honest.
Uh-oh.
I hate that film so much.
Well,
I get so bored with it. Like, I get the appeal. Like, oh, it's really pretty and whatnot, but it's... I don't know. It's a story that's been told so many times.
The tale as old as time.
Yes. Except not as good. And I love James Cameron, right?
Yeah, no, right. There's James Cameron. That's right. I mean, now he won't be on as a guest, but that's okay.
I mean, he'll understand, I think. Like,
I don't know. A lot of people love the movie. I mean, I didn't have as strong feelings as you do. It's not a movie I would watch. Or like Independence Day, I'll watch that anytime it's on TV.
Independence Day was fantastic.
Avatar, I think part of Avatar, it's like 10 hours long. And not that I'm opposed to long movies. Like I watched MCU, Endgame,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, which I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
What?
So that's a different episode.
How have you not seen that one?
I haven't. I don't know what people ask. I have not seen Lord of the Rings. It's just kind of one of those things. It happened in the universe, and I just didn't get a ticket.
Wow.
And I missed it. So
wow.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have to go through like a movie marathon.
Maybe. No, I would watch it. I'm not opposed. It's just, I just haven't sat down and did the work.
Interesting.
So Yeah, maybe we need a third Earth. Was it not Middle Earth? Not third Earth.
I don't know what third Earth is.
That's Thundercats. Was that third Earth?
Might be.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Thundercats in years.
Oh, I was about to say you didn't see Thundercats.
Oh, no, of course I've watched Thundercats.
Which they were like alien invaders, right? They were on a different planet there, kind of taking down Vulture Man and Mumra. I really, it's been a while, so I don't know all the dynamics.
You're going to get so much shit for this, and I can't wait to read the comments. By the way, I do want to thank the listeners that are leaving comments.
Yes.
I do read them as well. I just don't respond to anything, and I'm so sorry.
So I do. I talk to Nick, and then he's like, "Oh yeah." Now I do try to add in something, but yes, no. Folks are writing. Folks that see us come up to us and talk about the episodes. Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
I'm a lot more awkward off mic than I am in person.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun going down this because one starts. I mean, you really got to look at, are there aliens out there? Are we alone? And that's
so with this, I think if there were aliens here already, like a lot of people do believe.
You mean already on our planet?
Yes.
Not out in the universe?
Yes, correct. I feel like they would have already done stuff. Like they already have the resources to get here.
Right.
Wouldn't they just...
That's that point, that if aliens, if they do exist and they make it here, how peaceful will they be? Right. I think that's always a question, because when a more superior species interacts with a less superior group, let's say a group, then usually it doesn't end well for the less technologically sophisticated group.
Yeah.
If we just use a human-centric point of view, it's never worked out for the less technologically advanced group.
Unless they're very far behind, then,
Right. So that means if aliens show up, we're probably in for it.
Or they see what's going on here and they're like, we got to avoid that part of the universe. It's kind of a bad area.
Maybe. Wasn't that in Star Trek? I don't know which one. I'm not going to upset the Trekkies. But it was the one where they went back in time and the Borg were going to take out the scientists who made the warp drive.
Oh.
And then the warp drive was a signal for the Vulcans to know that we had reached a point to actually enter the galactic society of intellects. I forget which movie in the series that was, but that's that idea.
Avengers also took that same idea, remember?
Right.
That was after they proved that they can take out Loki's army.
Right.
Sent a beacon to the rest of the world.
That's right. Well, we had the Tesseract. The
yes, that's what it
Tesseract was the signal to the rest of the universe that we're ready for a higher form of war or interaction. I forget how Thor phrased that. Was like something like that.
I just watched it recently, and I'm like, I cannot remember it for the life of me, but it was all right, we're ready for this, I guess.
So we have the idea of what's happening, and Enrico Fermi came up with the Fermi Paradox. And I guess, Enrico Fermi created the world's first nuclear reactor, the Chicago Power 1. That was his claim to fame. But during some interview or speech, he said, "Where is everybody?" in reference to life in the universe. And so this became the Fermi Paradox. And the idea is that, the universe is really large. And so there should be other planets that have formed to support life. Habitable planets available. The age of the universe is such that societies on these other planets should have developed technologies to communicate with us.
I mean, it would be absolutely selfish to be like, no, we are the only intelligent beings in the entire universe. Like, it's insane to think that. There has to be something else out there, because why wouldn't they?
Well, you could say that the conditions for life on Earth were rare, and so rare that the odds are that even if life happens on another planet or another place, they might not evolve into an intelligent enough species to develop the technologies for communication with other worlds.
But wouldn't they
Right.
evolve differently and then
No.
live throughout their environment, which would mean like, all right, this is how
Right.
it's going to be evolving, and this is still on the same trajectory as what we would see as intelligence.
You could say it, I mean, right, but you might never get there. So you might just stay at some point where there's no pressure. So evolution requires pressure from your environment to force some sort of evolutionary change. And so you could just have a place where the pressure's never there for that
so
life
no threat
to make the jump.
to make it happen.
Right. There's no environmental pressure that will favor that type of intelligence or problem solving or creativity to make that jump. And then on the other end of that is the Great Filter Paradox. And that one states that you reach a point in evolution that you cannot get by. You become technologically aware, sophisticated. You have the technology to actually communicate, maybe even travel to other places, other worlds. But just your own internal politics prevent that, and you self-destruct and self-destroy yourself.
So this
before you
is
can
when
go out.
AI takes over.
And that's when AI... That's right. No, that was a different episode.
Oh, are we not doing an AI episode this
We're not.
week?
No.
Oh, damn.
I'm trying to answer why we might not have found life yet. So the other one is time. The universe, it is, 13 billion years old. So when that time, other civilizations life could have evolved, come online, develop technologies, and then for whatever reason, asteroid hits the planet, they all die, and we just missed them now.
Going
so
the
now
Prometheus route, where they had an ancient civilization that went dormant because X, Y, and Z.
And so then we just never match up with them. So when they were technologically advanced, they're no longer for one reason or the other. So we just miss throughout the universe. We just keep missing.
I think they created the xenomorphs to.
The xenomorphs. There
Yeah, and then.
Right. Now we're on aliens.
What? It's a damn hole that we went down.
The ultimate alien. The aliens. Alien.
But yeah,
Yep.
It's what ended up killing what was left of the Prometheus people. It was
right.
When we got there in the movie, we saw that the civilization was gone, but the xenomorphs left.
That's right. So yeah, they went. And did they take over? Yeah, that was the idea.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right, because they ended up taking over all of them, and what were they called? The engineers or something?
That sounds right. I'll have to look it up, put it in the show notes.
It's been a minute since I've seen that
It's
film.
been a while. Yeah, so
It's been a while.
It's been a while, people like us recording. And then you have we touched on this, non-interference policies, that there are aliens zipping around or observing us, and they won't interfere until we get to their level. Like, I'm not going to go there until they're at our level, till they can have a sophisticated conversation, right? So it's just like, look at those idiots on Earth.
But I mean, you look at it the same way as like, all right, we see a monkey, they can't communicate with us. Are we just going to be waiting around for them to communicate with us?
Well, I mean, that's right. I'm going to jump ahead because you jumped ahead. That's like the zoo theory, right? That we're invaded. Aliens would invade us to make us a zoo.
Wait, what if we already are a zoo?
We could.
What if
dance,
they're just
monkey
letting
dance.
us do this? They're like, you know what?
You could. I mean, they could be observing us as like we could be monkeys in a cage, and that's it. That's
Look at these stupid monkeys throwing shit all over their place.
So you have this. But yeah, so that's the zoo hypothesis, that maybe there are other advanced cultures, and they're just keeping an eye on us. Like, let's just watch them. We're like a reality show.
Sort of like when we have Ant Farm,
like
as a kid.
That's right. Like an ant farm that spills out, and
one of those alien ant farms.
We're an alien ant farm.
That's a band. I wasn't sure if you were going to pick that one up.
And then
I left it there on the floor for you.
We touched this on a previous episode, the dark forest theory, the dark forest theory. And that's where you don't reach out to others because you would reveal your position. And that's been the three-body problem. That's the premise, that once we start communicating, then people know they can triangulate on where you're at. So it's flashing a beacon, like capture the flag or, something like that when you're running through the woods at dusk and you turn on your flashlight, someone sees it, they know where you're at then, that you've given up your position. So that's this idea that they could be out there, but they just don't want to give up their position. So,
but we've thrown out so much shit into space.
That's right. So they know where we're at. They're coming.
We're not good at hiding ourselves. What, no. Didn't we send a record out into space?
That was it Voyager?
I think so.
The probe. There's a gold record that has information, sounds, famous, I think, like eclipse speeches, like, whatever they can fit on this. And then instructions on how to play the record. Like, that's this stuff. And it's like, well, what do we do with that? Like,
this is just trash.
Right. I mean, they're saying they're junk here. So those are kind of some of the ideas that you can go where, and you can see movies play off of that, where they either fill one of these roles, resource, like aliens would invade because of resources, interstellar colonialism, they're coming here, they're just...
What planet did Spaceballs try to take the oxygen from?
Oh, you're right.
Spaceballs
I know,
had that
right?
big...
The Statue of Liberty turned into the vacuum cleaner.
What? Because that was a resource that they were like, all right, we got to take this from this planet.
Right. They go and... Because it was planet Spaceballs was their planet.
Was that the one they were taking it from?
No, that was their planet. Druidia. That was it. I love that movie. That was a good one. John Candy was in it.
That was a fantastic film.
That was, yes. No, that's... No alien invasion, though. They were...
No.
I guess, you're sucking out...
I mean, it's just taking resources, which is just...
That was... But speaking of that, wasn't that just a Marvel movie? Was that The Marvels? That was a premise there. They were taking the ocean from another planet. Or... Yeah.
Yes.
They had the bracelets and she had the big battle axe thing.
They were taking all kinds of resources from different planets
to build their planet back up.
Yep.
It was like the opposite of Thanos.
Yes. The opposite. That was a good movie. I actually enjoyed the hell out of that.
It was good. That was enjoyable.
I don't know why it got so much hate.
I don't either. Sometimes I don't understand that whole thing. What are we talking about? The other thing we talked about humans.
What are we talking about again?
We got humans invading other planets, Avatar. But then we had from James Tiptree Jr., Brightness Falls from the Air. We had The Children of Time, the animated Battle for Terra. So all those were, really we went there and we were taking resources, or Children of Time is one where we were terraforming a planet. A really good book. If you haven't read The Children of Time, is a really good book. So go check that out. But yeah, so those are some. And then the other category, we got aliens invading us invading aliens. And then I think there's the peaceful alien invasions. Alienation, brother from another planet. They come here. Did you
see Paul?
Paul from across the street?
No, Paul.
Oh, I don't know. Paul who?
It was a Simon Pegg film with Seth Rogen.
I didn't see it. No.
Highly recommend it. It was really fun. What? Seth Rogen is the alien, and apparently he's been here for decades, to where he helped inspire different artists like Steven Spielberg making E.T. and everything. And
E.T.
It was a really fun film.
E.T. So I really was. I'm not a big E.T. fan, but I do have in thinking of this whole thing in E.T. And I probably wasn't a fan because it was I don't know how old I was, 9, 8, 9, 10. I just didn't.
You didn't have a soul? Is that what you're trying to say? You didn't have a soul for E.T.?
At that time, I was watching Alien. I was watching The Thing. I mean, I was just going for it. If I want aliens, I'm getting aliens. But E.T. was just like, or whatever. But what if E.T. was an advanced scout?
I could totally see that.
That came here, and then he was just scouting out, and I'm going to bring up Ray Bradbury because I think some episodes again, Ray Bradbury, just, you can never go wrong. But 0 Hour, the short fiction he wrote, where the aliens used the kids to accumulate resources and build their advanced weapons. And so E.T. kind of, as an adult looking back, that was the E.T. was, and he just happened to get sick. Like
we never see E.T.'s adult form.
Right. Because
they can be
right.
so much more dangerous than we think.
Yes. This could be the immature form that they just sent to get buddy with the kids, eat some Reese's Pieces, and move along with life.
Damn, product placement being so good.
That movie, what is it? Mac and Me?
Oh my God, yes. That was such a fucking weird movie. Yeah.
It's a total. Yeah, so that was E.T. I was doing some research, going down the rabbit holes, and that was one where I was like, you know what? E.T. is could be an advanced scout. And that I thought of The 0 Hour by Ray Bradbury, which is a great story. Check it out. It'll be in the show notes, some links and stuff like that. So,
but yeah, I completely am on board with that theory of
there it is.
E.T. being a scout.
I thought you would give some pushback.
No, 100%. Because think of how fast he actually was, and all these powers that we found out that he has.
Right.
He could have had those kids under mind control.
He could have been under mind control. Yes, right. Yes, right. Yeah.
The fact that they were so quickly to trust him.
Yeah, and they did. I mean, that's just kids, and they were just going off. They didn't listen to their parents. But also, it was set in the 80s where kids, we were just free range. I love it now because there's the memes where it's there were commercials that were it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kid is at? I think that's so true. Come in when the street lights come on, you should be home. And that was the rule. And I grew up in Philadelphia. I grew up in West Philly, born and raised.
Stop. Don't go into it, please. If you're going to do it, you got to do the whole song.
I'm not doing the whole, not here, not this episode. This is Alien Invasion, which Independence Day, where we started.
Right around.
And Big Willie.
Big fan.
Definitely.
Can't wait till he gets on the show.
Yeah, no, anytime. Philly Connect, Overbrook. We both went to Overbrook High, so I'm going to throw that out there. So, yeah, Will Smith, if you want to come on, you always got a spot, microphone.
Men in Black.
That
is full alien invasion.
But I want to give out an award. We don't give out enough awards.
I don't think we give any awards.
But I think the Rabbit Hole of Research, the podcast award for ultimate alien person in a movie or show should go to Jeff Goldblum. And I went through, I'm just going to read off his list, his body of work, where he was an alien, or there's alien invasions, or some alien interaction. But Invasion of Body Snatchers, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, Earth Girls Are Easy, Independence Day, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Asteroid City, just here recently. So I think if you go through it, I probably missed some. I'm sorry, Mr. Goldblum, if I missed one of the alien
We're going to give this award to Will Smith. Hands down.
I think I'm going to give it to
After
Jeff Goldblum.
Earth.
I
think Bright, wasn't that I didn't watch that one, to be honest.
Yeah, so
I think that one is an alien in it. What? There was Men in Black.
We did not discuss this award. It was a unilateral award giving out. And I still don't. That body of work is still. Men in Black was,
Hancock. I'm pretty sure he was an alien in that, wasn't he?
He was an alien. Yes, he was. Yes.
Independence Day, just like Jeff Goldblum.
That's a tie. That's a push.
What do you mean it's a push? He was the main character in that one.
If it wasn't for Jeff Goldblum, they wouldn't have defeated the aliens.
You're not wrong, but Will Smith was the reason that they were up there together.
That is true, but
Jeff Goldblum wouldn't have done shit in
they would not been up there because Jeff Goldblum also figured out how to release the force field from the alien craft and to make it sick with the virus. I'm giving this to Jeff Goldblum. Will Smith can get the next one, but this one...
We want him as a guest. I don't think Goldblum's going to show up.
In Asteroid City... Jeff Goldblum was the alien. So as Will Smith played an alien. Well, I guess he was Hancock. Yeah, so.
We just went over that one.
But he wasn't called the alien.
No, he was. He used his powers like Superman.
Yeah, so he's a knockoff Superman?
Essentially.
All right. So.
But drunk. Very drunk the entire film.
He was.
Which is another alien.
A drunk? Superman was. You're right. Superman.
A drunk. Yes. I can't wait till they have a homeless superhero that's an alien
Yeah, there was. Oh, what was that book called? Oh, I'll put it in the show notes. But there was a book where, and it wasn't about an alien, but every time he gets drunk, he can like see into the future. It was actually pretty good.
Every time I get drunk, I can think I can see in the future.
Yeah. I'll find it or edit this out because.
No, you cannot edit this out.
Oh, I can.
This is too much power.
I have it. I'm the sound engineer, the editor. Yeah, so I'm giving it to. Oh, why wouldn't Mr. Goldblum come over on the show with Will Smith? We can have them both on, and they can do it.
Well, I mean, Will Smith is a lot younger. I think he's going to be around longer than Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, why are you wishing ill on my man?
I'm not wishing ill on him. I'm just saying, like,
I think if you give an award out to someone, they're obligated to show up.
Oh, someone go ahead and send this to Jeff Goldblum for us.
I'll do it.
He needs to know that he's been summoned, like court.
My other favorite alien are the biological alien invasions. You know, so the virus, bacteria, they come to Earth. Invasion of body snatchers is kind of there. The parasitic kind of aliens. And then you have terraforming aliens that they want to change the Earth to fit their. So the Children of Time, us humans are terraforming other planets with life on it to make it our planet. But there are a number of books and stories where aliens come here and try to change Earth.
No, I don't remember this film as well as I think I do. The day the Earth stood still.
Right, yeah. And that they were...
Which category would that one be under? Because I think he does all of it, doesn't he?
He does, but his mission was peaceful, right? I mean, it was coming here to show humans what they were doing wrong. Was the...
As I said, it's been years since I've seen them. I know I own them both. The Keanu Reeves one and the black and white one.
The original one. It was like the Cold War, and this robot came...
It was a robot and an alien.
It was a robot sent by aliens, right? So is it an alien robot?
No, I thought there was both. Because wouldn't that... I'm going to get used.
You're right, yeah. Oh, Gort was the robot's name, and the ship landed. So the aliens were, okay.
Like, it was a double whammy there.
It was. That's right. That's right. But it was a peaceful mission. The Thing, I mentioned that earlier. That
Your
was,
favorite film.
It is. I was just telling Georgia earlier that if there was an IP... There might be a few, but if someone just came in and said you can write something for any IP, which is intellectual property, so any IP, I said it would probably be The Thing. I think, and I have a story. I have a story that I think would work. Like it would be fun, and not a prequel or anything like that. Just a new,
edition.
A new edition.
So I know we talked about this off air, but since we're talking about The Thing now, The Thing video game from the PS2 era is getting remastered now after we talked about it. They just announced that.
Really?
Now when we're recording, it was like a week ago, but yeah I was like, holy shit, I got to send this to Joe, but I didn't because I forgot and I was sleepy.
It's all right. And you know what category it fits in is galactic policing and ethical intervention. That probably would be the Gort. Sorry,
I was like, how is that even possible?
The thing does not. But galactic policing and ethical intervention is kind of idea that there's this highly advanced civilization is policing the universe and stopping the wayward children from misbehaving.
I don't know how I feel about galactic policing. I feel like that's too much power, man.
If you have the power, I mean, you're going to wield it. Either A, you're going to just lay the law down indiscriminately, or you're going to try to be discriminate about it.
Well, I mean, for different races, they're going to be like different, the species. This species is not going to be the same as that species.
You mean like humans versus Alien X?
Yeah.
Right. But they might be doing different things.
But then if, this one police spaceman is going to be like, I know everything about these. No, they're going to be like...
There's probably some rules. There's probably some galactic rules, like, don't send your garbage into space or whatever. I mean, you just can't do it. It's like policing in the town.
It doesn't sound like this guy's doing that.
If there were aliens coming here, that would be that was Gort. That's what I'm saying. There's two ways to think about that. One is that they're like, hey, you're giving the universe a bad name and you need to stop. Or it was the zoo hypothesis where it's like, hey, we've been watching you
You need to knock it off.
You're
Stop
right.
it.
You
gonna put you in
children need to
timeout
stop.
right
Yeah.
now.
It's like you need to stop, or else
Put your nose in the corner. Don't look at me.
We're gonna have to come in and break this up, and you don't want mommy to come here and bust it up.
They're not doing the gentle parenting.
They're like, no timeouts.
No.
That's old school.
I'm gonna come out here and slap you.
You're getting paddled. So that's what was I going to say? I had the thought I was going to mix two IPs. I was going to mix Predator and The Thing. And what if at the beginning of Predator, there's a spacecraft that comes, like the classic disc shape craft that comes and it drops the Predator off, right? He parachutes out. I don't know. They didn't really explain how he gets on it.
He doesn't use a parachute. I'm assuming he does the Captain America.
From space? Okay, so however he gets down.
Jumps down and goes out.
Down. When you watch The Thing, because The Thing intro, like the roll credits at the beginning, there's the ship that crashes, so the disc-shaped ship that crashes. And we know the Predators go around planet to planet, just doing whatever. What if the Predator ship picked up The Thing and then crash landed onto Earth like 10,000 years ago because it was coming here to fight polar bears or whatever? Like, because that's the thematically in the Predator movies. They're going back fighting the wildlife, saber-toothed tigers, whatever.
They were fighting everything,
right?
Even
right. So that's what I'm saying. What if they went somewhere and they picked up The Thing, and then they showed up? So that spacecraft
is this
that
your
came.
New IP that you're?
Oh no, I got a different one, but hey, I'll do this one too. We get both. But what if
John Carpenter hit us up?
What if you have the Predators actually got infected with The Thing, and so when they got back here, they crash landed on Earth, and then that's what was dug up to start The Thing movies. And then they were infected. So that means, because is there a planet with things? Like, what would the things look like on their planet? Like, what their native form? What's the thing?
I thought it would be that thing with like all the in the movie.
Yeah, but they're just imitating. They're trying to imitate life here. So that means
that scene with the dog, I'm assuming that was probably closest to what it really looks like, because it was red and it had tentacles.
Or is it just a microscopic parasite, like a virus? So it infects, and like you get the flu virus, you don't become the flu. I mean, it's in you. It's trying to take over. It's replicating. It's multiplying. Your body's fighting back, but there's not the flu virus itself is microscopic, but it kind of takes you over. Like you're on the couch, you're sick, you're feeling bad. But that kind of thing is the thing. It just passes on. Like someone picked it up, and as the Predator is going around attacking killing other things on other planets, they're spreading the thing.
But I don't think it was an infection, right?
They're infected. Yeah.
It was more or less, it was taking over the body. It was killing it and then replicating it.
That's an infection.
It doesn't kill. What cold do you know that kills someone and then takes the body of it?
Isn't that how zombies form? Isn't that how we get the zombies? We had an episode on this, right? I think virus. But no, the thing about it is that the thing, it wasn't intelligent, or was it just an infectious agent? The same thing with Invasion of Body Snatchers. What was the intelligence of the parasitic organism?
Assuming Invasion of the Body Snatchers was slightly smarter.
Or were they just, once they took over the human brain with all its creativity and potential and its intelligence, did it just then go, oh, this is a vessel we can use to spread ourselves more efficiently? The same thing with the Thing. It's like, oh, look at this thing. So the Predator gets it, they crash land, and now humans have it, and we go. So I just thought it was a nice little tie-in to these two IPs, where the intros and how they start and the technology they would have, because that could happen. Like if this alien visits, they could bring something that's not cool, like we don't want.
It's not cool, man.
It's not cool. Take your alien STDs somewhere else.
I feel like if it took over the Predator's body, I feel like it wouldn't leave it.
Yeah, but they crash landed and froze to death. That's how they crash, because the aliens, the Predators are changing, they're killing each other.
You think a Predator is that bad at flying? These are elite.
Well, once they get infected and they're doing that thing.
One more time for me. What was that sound?
like
Yes.
that, you know.
People are going to love listening to that part.
You got to pull the alarm and, you know.
Yeah. So who do you think would be the most intelligent alien life form to take over a planet?
The most intelligent alien life form to take over a planet?
Yes. Because I have one in mind.
Why don't you start then? You're like my Jeff Goldblum award.
I think the aliens from They Live.
Oh yeah,
They
live.
had a plan.
Well, it's the same thing with V.
Yeah. They were already totally ingrained in society.
Yeah, use our weapons against us.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. You know, I think I'm gonna go Mars Attacks.
Yes. The smartest beings in the known universe.
They came and they were doing their thing. Just, you know.
Just need to listen to some good old yodeling. If we ever get invaded, I'm playing that.
So that's what you're going first. It's like, you know.
Not even going to play anything else.
Let's go. Let's just turn that up. Just boom it out. And we don't need Jeff Goldblum to figure out the force fields, save the day.
Well, War of the Worlds, didn't that end because of the common cold? Or was that
the bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess that goes both ways. If something comes to our planet, they could bring an infectious disease that our bodies haven't ever seen or evolved to, and we just all get wiped out. And
that's essentially what
they show up, then we can give them our infectious diseases.
Why did you? What kind of infectious diseases were you saying?
Like the cold. I mean, we're not being all Captain Kirk up on his jokes.
The way you said it, you were like, "Our infectious disease."
No,
I'm like, oh Jesus! Oh, please don't.
Like the aliens in the Fifth Wave, that book by Rick Yancey. So that was good, where they had a whole plan. And they go through the 5 waves. Like the first one, they knock out all our electrical devices. The second wave was kinetic bombardment. You know kinetic bombardment?
No.
All right. So the idea, it's really cool.
Did you make up that word?
No, not me. It was Jerry Hornell. And he wrote with Larry Niven the Footfall book. And that was a terraforming book where aliens dropped these asteroids on Earth to change the climate. But Jerry worked at Boeing, and one of the ideas he had was Project Thor kinetic bombardment. And essentially what you do is take telephone pole sized tungsten rods, and then you drop them from space and would hit the Earth and destroy their targets. It'd be like a nuclear weapon hitting. And actually, that's a little aside. Just in some fandom kind of world, I was on a panel at MarsCon a couple of years ago at the MarsCon sci-fi conference, and we were on a panel, and I look at the other panelists were done, and it was Philip Purnell, who's Jerry Purnell's son. And it dawned on me, I was like, oh, you know what? I've read your dad's books, and I'm a fan, and so it was really cool. It's like one of these moments where it was like, it's so cool. So yeah, but kinetic bombardment it was a thing, and it's still talked about of doing it, because you could just then drop a tungsten-sized telephone pole
I mean, it
on your
doesn't even
enemy.
have to be that big.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, you could just drop it just in space as the Earth turns, just bombs away. Yeah. So, and then, so they had that. Then the third wave was a deadly plague that then kind of wipes out a lot of the human population. Then the fourth wave, we had these alien program humans that come in to infiltrate and hunt the human survivors. And then the final fifth wave was using children to hunt down and kill remaining humans. So it was really kind of how to dismantle society, come in, and then use us to do all the dirty work.
Man, I feel like humans
so
can
they might
really
be,
go extinct really easily.
Yes,
An alien comes through,
right,
we're pretty much just wrecked.
So they might be that's pretty.
We're laying out game plans for them already.
Right,
like
right.
They don't even have to do their research anymore.
That's an involved, right? That's right. Just read the fifth wave. Oh, okay, we got it. That's the slow game, right? You just come in and
use the least amount of resources.
But the War of the Worlds, the story by H.G. Wells in 1898, we mentioned it a few times, and one of the things, it was the earliest example of an alien invasion story that I could find. that had that. So I don't know if you've found something earlier than 1898.
I'll put it in the show notes or make you do it. I thought I read something, but I don't want to misspeak like I always do.
I mean,
hold on. Let's see. 1892, Robert Potter, an Australian clergyman, published The Germ Growlers in London. It describes a covert invasion by aliens who take on the appearance of human beings in the attempt to develop a virulent disease. Yeah. That was
you said 1890?
Yep, 1892.
So you're 4 years after War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds was published in 1898.
Right. I said the earliest example was War of the Worlds.
No, that's what? 1892.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Are you already intoxicated? Joe, how many drinks did you have today, bud?
Apathy is a cold body, man.
That's what I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
okay, so I got to put that. I'll get that in the show notes.
Go ahead and like double check that one. I'm not.
Oh, did you? Oh, so you just?
I read that somewhere.
All right.
You know, you're more of the fact checking me.
I'll get it. Yeah, no, like I said, that was the earliest one I found. But you have something now. That's
someone's gonna be mad at me.
Somebody, they'll probably be mad at me. I didn't watch Lord of the Rings, so that's and Jeff Goldblum. I picked him over Will Smith for the award. I think he deserves the award. I'm gonna give it to him. I probably missed some of his movies that he had. So, what we got? What do you got? Aliens, invasions. You have a favorite movie? I think we mentioned all that. I don't think we got to rehash.
I think Will Smith's Men in Black would be my go-to.
Men in Black. Yeah,
it's a great film, and there's so many aliens in it.
There's a lot of aliens in Men in Black.
You know, even though you decide we're split on our alien actor.
We are. We might have to revisit that next year, but I'm gonna give it to you. It's in the show notes already. So since I do the show notes, and I mean, The Thing. You know how I feel about The Thing, but I'm gonna go with a movie that I think I enjoyed it, and at the time it had, it dates itself when you watch it, but it's Cloverfield. I really like Cloverfield. It had that feel, like the way it was filmed, almost first person, handheld recording device. That was 2008. We were right at the edge of everyone having a cell phone with recording capability. So when an event like that happens, the spread of news and information was still slow and clunky. And so to have this there, because the alien invasion now would be, I think if an alien invasion happened now, I think we would have the opposite effect. Information would be there, and it would be like, man, there's aliens. And you'll be like, yeah, right, whatever. I'm just going to go about my day and not care. And I think it's going to be one way or the other. Either we're not going to respond fast enough because we're just like, whatever, and this is made up or a conspiracy. Versus back then, it was like, you wouldn't hear about it. It was just like until the spaceship rolled across the plains.
No. District 9.
It's on my list. District 9 is on my list.
That is the one film where the aliens failed. They got.
Did they fail?
Were put in camps.
I don't know if they failed.
They failed
because the main guy, the military guy, got infected and turned. That means that they can turn humans into themselves.
Right.
And so is that maybe they're playing the long game?
You think they were playing They were living in the slums,
because they came here for. I mean, it was kind of like the peaceful alien invasions we talked about.
And humans are trash, and they took over them.
I think they were figuring that out, that they were going to go and we
just put them in the slums.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't mention from episode 10, Edge of Tomorrow, because you were all hot and heavy for Edge of Tomorrow.
I didn't want to bring that one up, Joe. I purposely left that one off.
Why? You were all. That's all you could talk about in episode 10.
I didn't like it.
Why'd you? Well, Tom Cruise isn't.
Listen, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think we mentioned all the movies on my list. I'm not going to go into books. I'll put those in the show notes. Andromeda Strain was one that was I enjoyed. And that was both a book and a movie. I did mention Fifth Wave. Ender's Game. That was a human.
We brought that one up, didn't we?
Did I talk about Ender's Game already?
I think I might have brought
Maybe.
that up.
Okay.
No, I think I just listed that under why Will Smith is the best.
Will Smith wasn't in Ender's Game.
Yeah, no.
You're just giving credit to Will Smith. Right? He was in a Thing, District 9. Like
You didn't see him in the thing? He was uncredited. He was actually part of the ice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He was buried in the ice. We didn't see him. He was the predator in the ship that was infected. All right. I think I am at the last swallows of my apathy as a cold body. This is a good beer. I mean, if you guys get out to Northwest Indiana, Hammond, check out Foreign Local.
Good friends of ours.
Yeah.
Good people.
Really good folk.
I think from not doing this show for a month, I think we hit the ground rolling until we see what people think of this episode.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, no,
They were really off
That's
topic for a good
yeah.
chunk of this.
They were just rambling on about something. I don't know. That editing comes in, so this part, yeah. Don't worry about it. It'll be all cleaned up. You'll be like, what are they talking about? This is great. But yeah, okay. So that's the end. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for writing into us. Thank you for supporting us. It's been great. We're here, episode 16. That's awesome.
We truly appreciate you listening, and come yell at us sometimes.
That's right. This is Joe. We got Nick.
And we went down them holes.